Today we are checking out more of your underground metal album recommendations on Bandcamp, and let's get right into it with Treasondom, with the flesh that consumes the mind. Alright, kind of a banger there already. These guys are out of Romania, describing themselves as a death metal and grindcore band, specifically from Transylvania. So that's always a fun little credit there. Pretty solid stuff. I like the shorter track length, and overall, it's kind of a headbanger. The guitar tone, something about it, not in love with it. I think there's like room for some tweaking there, and just from that little sample, songwriting maybe could be a little bit more interesting, but I mean, it's grindcore, baby. Like, you know, what are you gonna do? So, yeah, those are my initial thoughts. And again, if you're new here to this segment, and we got plenty of them you can check out, I just give you a quick, like, 30 to 45 seconds to sample my initial thoughts, and then hopefully it's enough to interest you to go check them out on your own. But moving on, we have Birkental with Peccatum Mortiferum. Alright, pretty cool. We've got some experimental black metal from Germany, from their own description. Love this cover art. It is absolutely stunning with the blue and yellow there. Musically, kind of interesting, because it's like pretty traditional black metal, but that bass tone and the specific like playing style is very post-punk to me. But they're not like going a full-on like, White Walls, like post-punk direction. It's still very much black metal. It's just kind of got that style infused into it. So I don't know if that's an intentional influence or not, but makes it kind of interesting. So yeah, I'm intrigued to hear more from this one. Next up is Feretro with the Mortuary Destiny of Flesh. So this is a French group, or at least that's another case where the label is French, Nihilistic Holocaust Rex. Not positive about the band. A lot of death metal in the tags, but this is very thrash metal. You could say death thrash, but I'm hearing more thrash than anything else. But a very kind of death metal, black metal logo there. Another very cool album art with some striking colors, and it was getting me banging my head. I mean, like that's like the most important thing on this segment for me, I feel like, is within a few seconds, can you get me moving? I was digging what they were putting out. I like the kind of more old school sounding production too. Gives it a very retro feel. And so, yeah, that sounds pretty rad. All right, but next up, we have These Negative Spaces with These Negative Spaces. right, that's pretty cool. So this is a South African crew. Appropriate that we're covering this right around or a little after we've just done a lot of like new metal, alternative, even some grunge stuff, because I hear all those influences here. This feels like it would be right at home on like 2000s radio to me, alongside stuff like Chevelle and things like that. So I'm a big fan of that style, and they do list influences of metal post-grunge. Post-grunge also being a lot of those... I hate that the name coming to mind is like Nickelback, but that's like, you know, that era at least. This sounds nothing like Nickelback, thankfully. Yeah, sounds cool to me. Always nice to have kind of a combo breaker in here that sounds a little bit different from everything else. So cool stuff. Hope you all check it out. Next up is Verminizer with Scythe of Scorn.
It is the shore of...
That's loud. All right, there's grind, and then there's just ear rape. This is the latter. On your end, that probably did not sound nearly as loud because I would have equalized the volume. That was blowing out my eardrums. Holy crap. Blackened grindcore in the tags. A lot of like extreme metal noise. This is, yeah, it's loud. It is. I'm thinking of that Back to the Future clip right now.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
But yeah, I don't even know what to say about that one. I mean, if you wanted to, you know, get my anxiety going and really kind of surprise me, then mission accomplished. I can't decide whether I liked it or not, but I guess you all can do that for yourselves. Moving on for something completely different, we have Oscillotron with Snieza, Sniezna, something like that. It's Swedish. All right, I really liked that, and it was by complete accident that this comes right after Verminizer, but I'm glad it does, because I needed a decompression and kind of mental reset in this some very chill electronic ambient drone doom and beyond, as they put it, out of Sweden. Really doing it for me. I'm not even a big like drone or even instrumental guy, but there was a lot going on there to kind of like make it interesting, and this is a 14-minute track on a 9-track album, so there's probably a lot to dig into here. Some of the synth even reminded me of like Kevin Key's work with like Skinny Puppy on his solo stuff too. Very cool. Yeah. So next up though, we have Death Meta with Malware. Okay, not only did you get me banging my head, but you gave me the stank face, and that's on a track that was only like a minute long, and we only covered part of it. Like that's That's a good sign. That got me. That got me. Out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm seeing some familiar tags in here that make a lot of sense to me. So cybergrind, but also deathcore, mathcore, MySpace grind, definitely all those things coming out. I love that they were mixing all those things together. We had break beats, but then we had like a breakdown, just all over the place. Reminds me of plenty of stuff like Zombie Shark, but I'd say this even goes a little bit more like deathcore with the sound overall. Right up my alley. I love weird MySpace era stuff like this, so I will definitely. Hopefully, I say definitely hopefully is a strange thing to say, but I will hopefully be carving out some extra time to actually give this one a full listen in particular. I think we got some more to go, but that may be my winner for today. Next up, we have Demon Sluice with Dancers Beneath Shores of Fire. Yeah, another very strong one with this New Zealand black metal, black and death metal band, kind of working as a full unit here. I was really noticing the guitar work and just how like it just like continued and maintained and was very earworm. But then the vocals like very strong as well. I think the different like lows and highs well placed, good variety going on there. This is a 10-minute track, which for something like this could be tedious, but I was noticing already towards the end of what we got to listen to anyways, that there was already kind of like a shift in the overall dynamics and sound, and so I could see them maybe keeping things engaging. Production seemed great too, so another strong listen here that I hope you all go check out on your own. Next up is Lutemkrat with The Eternal Resonance of Death. Alright, some more very kind of like tumbling into the void style black metal out of Brazil. Don't get a ton of stuff out of Brazil, so that's always cool. Digging it, very, very much digging the atmosphere. There was something kind of mournful and beautiful about it too, in addition to being very malevolent and dark at the same time. Very haunting, I think, is another word that comes to mind. So yeah, would be interested to listen to more of that as well. Production sounds great too. We have Neks with Point of No Return.
In the land of planet, controlled by the few. Too young to
Another kind of left turn here for a more melodic direction. This is a New Jersey band. They describe themselves as a hardcore band. As I was listening to it, I was thinking of that other band this year that was a hardcore band and now has gone very much more melodic and the name is on the tip of my turnstile. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Might be. Kind of reminds me of that vibe, where you can hear sort of the hardcore roots still kind of lingering around, but overall they've gone in a more kind of melodic rock kind of direction, and I'm here for it. Sounds pretty cool. Very drifty. Again, that's something that probably would have fit on like 2000s radio too. So cool stuff. Always nice to get some variety. Moving on, we have Crimson Butchery with Stalker. Obviously, these guys have been listening to a lot of Cannibal Corpse, and man, they sound. If somebody told me this was a new Cannibal Corpse track, I would genuinely believe it. I'm not giving hyperbole here. Like that was just hitting the nail on the head. If that's the sound you're going for, so awesome. Production sounds great. Guitar work is cool. I was interested to listen to more of where that solo was going. The very spooky graveyard sounding stuff. The label is out of Kansas City, Missouri. Not sure about the band. I was kind of speed reading some of the details here, but I didn't necessarily see a location. But yeah, if you're wanting some just brutal death metal, also this will definitely be in the thumbnail in case y'all haven't figured it out by now. I always go for like the very colorful faces with the eyes staring right at the audience. Like those are the best ones to pick, so that'll definitely be half of the thumbnail. All right, next up we have Oenos with Mavro V. I believe we've covered this crew before, potentially. Okay, it's coming to me now. The description is Hail Wine, so if I'm remembering, and with the grapes in the logo here too, I believe this project pairs like a particular wine with the sound of the record, or maybe multiple wines. I forget the exact details, but that's kind of coming back to me. We see the imagery here too, which I think is a very interesting thing to do with a project like this. One almost 40-minute track here, which is quite an undertaking. That tends to turn me off, but I was liking what I was hearing. Very doomy, but also like kind of Triptykon sort of vibe. Yeah, and I love me some Triptykon, so maybe I'll cover it sometime. It's really hard for me to do that with something like this, but I hope you all will at bare minimum, especially you people who love doom more than I do. All right, then we have Nattfly with Flocken. some very entrancing guitar work there. Those guitars almost sound less like instruments and more like just like the wind blowing through like the trees and like a storm coming. Loving how they mix with the blast beats and everything. Just a very kind of driving, haunting approach. Makes sense too because they say the music is uncompromisingly ritualistic, and it definitely feels as such, grounded in like the classic second wave of Scandinavia, fueled by animalistic belief and spiritual struggles. I feel like all that really coming through just in that few seconds we were listening to there. Awesome Swedish black metal. Another really cool cover too that I think is very fitting of the music. And yeah, there hasn't been a ton of black metal to wow me this year, but that one also sounds very intriguing at the least. All right, we also have Renunciation with Make Babylon Great Again. Interesting. Okay, all is a compliment when it's hard for me to cut myself off and like stop playing the music. And I had a lot of ooh kind of moments with this one. This may tie for my favorite today. At this point, this is a Russian project. They describe themselves as black metal with technical and progressive death metal influences, but man, they lean more into the latter and also like thrash too. It's reminding me of more. I've been listening to a lot of Revocation to prepare to do that discography ranking, and I'm definitely hearing plenty of stuff like that in the sound as well. Holy cow, like the guitar work alone was insane, but then the vocals just totally vicious. Production really strong. I really like just like the guitar tone too. Remind me a little bit of there's a black metal project called, I think it's Waxen that I'm thinking of. It might be a different one and I'm crossing hairs, but similar guitar tone to the one that I'm thinking of at least. And yeah, full package with that one. Very, very impressive. All right, y'all, that's plenty for today. So check out this video for this playlist for plenty more of these. If you like this segment, also please do consider becoming a patron or a channel member. Because again, I'll say this at the end of these videos, this is the least popular segment. It always does the worst views and therefore doesn't pay out as much with the ad revenue, but I think it is a very important segment, maybe the most important on the channel, and it helps when I get people funding it like this, and it's fun for me to do too. It exposes me to a lot of cool stuff. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.